Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and joining us this evening. Someone cared a whole lot about you to invite you to this call, and we're so glad you're here. My name is Verdita Monk. I reside out of the Atlanta, Georgia area, and I'm going to be your host for this evening. I'm so excited because what you're going to hear tonight, we hope that it will inform you, so that you'll know exactly everything you need to know about this X39 patch. As you can see, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. It's going to also encourage you. We want to encourage you to embrace this concept so that you can adopt a healthy lifestyle and maybe, pass this information to someone else. We also want to inspire you to reach your dreams and goals. So this call right here is just a call that is going to do several things, and we're so excited about it. But let me tell you why I'm here and how I even got here. About a year and a couple of months ago, a friend of ours by the name of Ken Robinson reached out to us and told us he had something very exciting he wanted us to try. Now, we hadn't heard from Ken maybe in a couple of years, literally. And so we were really curious as to, what it was about, because, for him to reach out like this, like that, it must have really meant something. And we have a lot of respect for Ken. And so we listened to him, and he invited us to a call just like the one you're on tonight. We heard some information that really caught our attention. And then he wanted to meet us to give us a patch looking just like this little tiny patch that we're going to be talking about tonight. And he wanted us to wear this patch, and we were literally about to go out of town. And so when we got to where we were going, we decided we would try this patch. Now, what made us kind of concerned is the fact that we considered ourselves healthy individuals. Some of you may feel like you're a healthy individual and you don't need anything to assist you in, with pain or some type of condition you're dealing with. That's the way we felt. We said, well, we don't take medication. We're healthy individuals, but we put the patch on anyway, just out of curiosity. But I'm so glad we did, because that night, the first thing that I noticed the next morning when I woke up was I had slept all night. I had a deep sleep that I'd never experienced, that I could remember in my life. But what also happened was my husband, who had a sleeping disorder, where he was choking and coughing, and I mean, he had the acid reflux, you name it. It was scary because he would choke to the extent that I didn't know, what was going on. And so, what happened was that particular night, he did not snore at all. And I didn't notice it till the next morning because I slept all night. That was November 12th of 2022. And so even though we felt like we didn't have anything going on, but those are the things that happened to us. But do you know my husband has not snored since then? That right there is amazing. It's something that you would not expect to happen to a person. And then, just the fact that we didn't think we had anything going on, this patch will catch your attention. This patch will surprise you and correct things that you didn't even think was going on in your body. And so we're going to get right into the information, so that we don't delay. Okay, we don't want to keep you long, but we know this information is going to be strong. So let's tell you all about this patch. The first question I want to ask you this evening is, have you been patched? Has anybody put this tiny little patch on you, about the size of a quarter and thin like a Band-Aid? Well, if they've not, you're going to want to be patched by the time you get off this call, because this patch elevates everything about your body. It elevates the copper peptides in your body. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. It activates and reactivates the stem cells that are dormant in your body. That is very important. And then it regenerates your whole being. Now, let me tell you why this is all important. You see, our bodies, first of all, were designed to heal themselves. But as we get older, especially by the time we're around age 30, half of the stem cells are dormant. They're not doing anything anymore. And that's why you start getting tired and start getting high blood pressure, just things like that. By the time you're 60, it really, changes. I mean, you really start noticing, like in my case, I had to have a nap. I mean, I needed a nap every day, but I didn't have time to have a nap, but that's the way my body felt. And other things, you just didn't have the energy to do the things that you used to do as quickly and stuff like that as when you were older. But many people develop ailments like high blood pressure, diabetes, dementia, all those kinds of things as they start getting older. It's because they don't have the tools in their body to fight off of those ailments. That's why we need the patch. Now, let me tell you what a lot of people do when they get in a situation where they have given up. They don't know what else they can do. Doctors can't help them. I mean, we're talking about major stuff. Okay, I'm not going to name all the different kinds of ailments, but major things that happen to people that they have decided, okay, I'm going to get a stem cell injection. Now, some of you may not be familiar with a stem cell injection, but the reason people do that is because they're either getting depositing stem cells from somewhere else, from embryos or somewhere else like that into their body, or maybe stem cells from another part of their body, or it's just very popular now because it relieves people of chronic situations that in crisis situations that they're in. The problem with injections are they're expensive. They can average anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 per injection. People are literally willing to do that because they're just in a desperate situation. Another thing about injections is 30% of the time they're not effective. Some people get an injection, it didn't even work. They don't get their money back, it's not guaranteed, and insurance doesn't cover it. So really, it doesn't seem like it's a really good idea to get an injection because it's not something available to everybody, and then you have to pay for it. It's some things go wrong with injections as well. So that's why you need the patch, and that's what I want to tell you about. So I want to introduce you to a very special person who is the inventor. He's the CEO of our company, and he's the inventor of the X39 patch. His name is David Schmidt. And this gentleman is so brilliant. He literally has over 180 patents. And he started his career way back 20-something years ago, almost 20 years ago, when he was commissioned by the federal government to create or develop something to energize the Navy SEALs on their new project where they were going to be in the submarines for over 36 hours at a time. They needed to be energized naturally. Took him 3 years to create his first patch, which is called the Energy Patch. It was a big hit. And doctors, the word started spreading. So doctors and everybody that's in the medical field and in the health field were impressed. It spread to Stanford University and to some of these places that, it just became very popular. But it was back in 2008, and he kept developing other patches, okay? Many patches, like I said, 180 patents. But in 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. That's when he developed his masterpiece, because all those other patches that he created couldn't come close to the X39. And when he created the X39, once again, it took him 10 years to develop it, over 80 case studies, and over $5 million to bring it to market. So that lets you know this is something very, very special. Trying to get this. I'm sorry, you guys. Okay, so next slide, apologize. This is the patent, and we have this patent till for another 17 years, you guys. And that just simply means that two things. It means that when you have a patent, it has to be proven. And when you have a patent, it's exclusive. No one else can use this technology or market this technology rather, except for LifeWave, our company. I'm just going to read something straight from the patent. It says that the patch elevates copper peptides in our bodies. You see, Lauren Picard, which was a well-known scientist, had proven that when you elevate the copper peptides in your body, it turns around and reactivates the stem cells. The problem with that, even though that was the case, nobody could do it. And that's why David Schmidt committed his 10 years of his life to make sure that he made those stem cells reactivate, because that was so important. Just what I told you about all the issues that are dire situations in people's lives, they needed those stem cells to reactivate, you guys, and they didn't need it through an injection. So it also, in addition to elevating the copper peptides, it activated, reactivated the stem cells that are dormant in your body, improves energy, and the list goes on and on. And so we're really excited about this patent. That means we have exclusive rights to this technology. Now, let me explain to you how it works. Very, very simple. It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. If you're not familiar with phototherapy, an example of phototherapy is when you go out in the sun, the vitamin D in your body is elevated. You may have, I don't know if you heard about that before, but you don't see vitamin D floating around in the air. It's just a process that takes place in your body where it reflects off of the light of the sun, and in your body, it elevates the vitamin D in your body the same way the copper peptides are elevated in our body when we put this patch on. But yet, it's nothing going into your body. This is patented. In the very, very center of this patch are some crystals. They're called nanocrystals. They're very tiny, and they're made in a lab, a FDA-registered laboratory. They reflect light to activate those copper peptides, you guys. It's non-transdermal, meaning nothing goes into your body. No drugs or chemicals or stimulants are in this patch. Therefore, it doesn't compete with the medication that you may be taking, and it's non-invasive. So it's not going to penetrate into your body, okay? So this is what makes it really, really interesting. Now let's talk about the benefits of the X39. Now, these benefits were demonstrated in those 80 case studies that I told you about, such as increased strength. You know, as we get older, I mean, we just don't have the strength that we used to have. But wouldn't it be nice to have increased strength? Reduced inflammation. We know that inflammation is the culprit of most illnesses and diseases. Increased stamina, energy, and vitality. I don't know what I would do without this patch, because the energy that I used to need to stay awake, I don't have that issue at all. I can't remember the last time I took a nap, okay? Mental clarity is off the chain. Restored, you'll hear some of these things as you hear some testimonies later. Restores the muscular skeletal conditions. Do you realize that as we get older, many of us develop something called osteoporosis, which means less density in our bones? That is very important, because when you're older and if you fall and break a bone, it's going to be very, very hard for your skeletal system to be restored. Improved sleep. I gave you my personal testimony, my husband's personal testimony. I mean, the sleep is off the chain, you guys. Improved skin appearance. You know, so many people are experiencing skin appearance. I saw a gentleman who had, there was vitiligo, where you have the discoloration in your skin. And within 3 months, that was almost gone. 90 days. That's the kind of thing, when I say skin appearance, it may not be just because of vanity reasons, but it's for, really important reasons. We had a baby that was born during COVID and had, I don't know what the condition was called, but her arm was like purple red. But they said it was going to take several years for that arm to get back to normal coloration. Within 3 months of wearing the patch, her arm was almost back to the normal size. I mean, not normal coloration. And that's an example. Those are just some examples, but people that had, acne and things like that as well, just normal stuff. But anyway, we're here to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. But I want to make sure you understand, we're not saying that these products are intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. It's just allowing our bodies to reboot so that it can heal itself. That's really exciting. And let's talk a little bit more about the long-term results. This is very exciting. So this is based on the case studies, you guys. This is facts right here. And you can go to a website called thisisit.info.com to read about these case studies. The first few days, they started noticing that 4,000 genes begin to reset. Now, they have all the equipment and everything to measure all of this. So this is not something that was not documented. 4,000 genes began to reset in a few days. So some people say, I didn't feel anything. Well, you may not feel it, but it's working. You don't feel your hair growing, but it's growing. You don't feel your nails growing, but they're growing. You don't feel your different things going on in your body, but you don't feel your kidney functioning, but it's functioning. And so these genes are being reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. People who have conditions like PTSD, that's very significant. People that have dementia, Alzheimer's, depression, all of these kinds of things are very significant. And those conditions in these case studies the brain became balanced within 6 weeks. Within 3 months, the collagen began to increase. And that's significant too, because collagen is in every fiber of our body, in our bones, in our joints, in our tissues, our skin, everywhere. Collagen is everywhere in our body. And we need that as we get older. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. Now, I really, really want you to understand that last item there that says heart reverses in age. Can you imagine a gentleman that that I know, and he's one of our friends in this business. His name is Jeffrey, and Jeffrey was diagnosed with diabetes. He was a bad case of diabetes, and he had to take insulin shots 5 times a day because his numbers were spiking all the way up. His sugar levels were spiking up to like 300 and something every day. And after 3 days of wearing the patch, it was normalized, where he only had to take a half of injection in the morning, and he did one before he went to bed. And to today, his numbers are spectacular. He's a new person. But here's the part about the heart. 3 years ago, sometimes when you have diabetes, you hear a lot of people that have strokes. And that's what happened to Jeffrey. So in 3 years ago, he had this stroke, and he had to, they wouldn't let him leave the hospital without a pacemaker in his heart. And 6 weeks after wearing the patch, he had to go back to the cardiologist like he always did. They had him coming back every 6 weeks. Well, this time when he went back, the cardiologist says, "What are you doing? Because I don't know what you're doing, but your heart is no longer relying on that pacemaker. Your heart is operating on its own." That's what we mean about the heart reverses in age. Those stem cells within his heart started reversing and started being activated, and the stem cells in his body did what it needed to do. See, stem cells go where your body needs it. If you need it in your arm for something, your stem cells go there. If you need it in your brain, your stem cells go there. And that's what happened with Jeffrey. The stem cells, his heart needed those stem cells. And that's one of the examples that I was going to tell you, but that's the only one I'm going to tell you tonight. So you guys, it's not anti-aging. It's age reversing, according to our CEO. Now, let me tell you how you're going to wear this patch. Very, very simple. I have mine behind my neck right now, just like the diagram. Sometimes I put it below my belly, but sometimes I put it right here on my wrist. You can put it anywhere, just as long as you wear it for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. I love that because I don't have to swallow pills or something like that. Then you throw it away. After 12 hours, you get a whole 30-day supply of these patches in this pack. You can just put a whole new one on every day and just repeat the process. But what's really important is that you maintain and stay hydrated, because you need to drink plenty of water, because it is the energy is this is a flow of energy in your body, and your body is going to flow. It's going to flow better, number one, if you're hydrated, but also your body is going to start detoxing and pushing those toxins out of your body so that it can heal itself. Okay, so that's how you're going to wear the patch. You can wear it anywhere. They just show this diagram because that's what they use in the case studies. Okay, now we're about to have some fun, you guys, because this, I could go on about the technical aspects of this, but I know you want to be able to relate to why so many people want to wear this patch. So I have some guests on the call tonight that happen to have some success with the patch. And the first person that I'm going to call on is Miss Claudia Jones. Claudia, can you please unmute yourself and share your video if possible, and share your amazing testimony with the audience?
I can unmute.
But you're not able to show your video?
Goodness. I'm on my phone. No.
Okay, well, don't worry. Just share your testimony. We appreciate that.
Okay, I apologize for that. Thank you, first of all, Renita, for allowing me to speak on your platform. And I apologize about the picture. What I want to say is the patch is a miracle for me and so many others. Everything Radita was saying about our stem cells being dormant is very true because I lived it. And as a result, I was diagnosed during the pandemic with spinal stenosis and ended up with plantar fasciitis at the same time. And I was on all kind of medication. I've had 3 epidurals. I was standing up crazy in the morning, couldn't stand up straight. I was on a cane on my way to a wheelchair. And someone introduced the patch to me. And I have been patching now for about 7 months. And I've had so much improvement. I'm not on any of my medication anymore. But it was even revealed to me today, speaking to a friend about the patch, that it's really a miracle because my body was in critical condition. So when I started patching, I wasn't a one patch wonder because I was in critical condition. So it took me about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month before I could feel some of the relief of the pain that I was in. And it's been getting better and better ever since then. And I just thank God for caring enough about me to get it to me. Thank you, Radita.
Wow. That is such an amazing testimony. And just to know that you were on your way to a wheelchair and your lifestyle is totally changing. For the people on the call, I want you to just take a piece of paper and a pen out, and I want you to think of someone that's in that situation, walking with a cane. They would love it if they could get off of that cane, or just the pain that she was in. I just want you to understand, write somebody's name down if you know somebody like that, okay? Because that's what we want you to do, we want to encourage you to help someone else. Okay, so the next person that I want to invite to the call is Miss Carmen Crawford. Carmen, can you come on and share your testimony and your video as well?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Carmen Crawford. My husband and I have been in Lifeway for about a month now. And I am sharing a testimony on behalf of someone who we shared the patch with. My cousin on my husband's side is very shy, so I'm sharing on her behalf. When this was presented to us, we had heard a lot of testimonies, and immediately our cousin came to mind. She has sarcoidosis. I have to say it slow because I always mess it up. But for months, we had been hearing through my mother-in-law that she was in a lot of pain. She couldn't do the things that she was doing in the past. She was pretty much debilitated, to the point that she had even shared with my mother-in-law and her sister that she was ready to give up. The pain was that bad. She couldn't do really much of anything. And so we knew that we had to get this patch to her. So once our supply came in, we gave her an X39 and a couple of other patches, gave her instructions on what to do. And we were like, let us know what happens. A couple of weeks went by, and when we did hear from her, she took a little while to use the patches, but when we did hear from her, she basically told us that she patched herself at night, and she said that the pain was there a little bit, but it started to go away and she went to sleep. The next morning, she was up, she was cleaning her house, she was cooking, she wasn't in any pain whatsoever in one day. And she told us that she had not been able to do those things, cook and clean, just those simple tasks for her family, since August of last year. So she was very relieved, very happy. And that was awesome for us to hear, because we know people with that condition and with that ailment, who will be able to share her testimony with as well. So that is her testimony on her behalf. And we're looking forward to hearing more from her.
Well, thank you so much, Carmen, for sharing that. And I know that sarcoidosis, if I can say it, is a very serious disease. I know that someone who did not make it because of that disease. And what I want you all to hear also what Carmen says was, as she started hearing these testimonies, she immediately thought of her. And that's what I was asking you a minute ago. If you think of someone that's in some type of situation that you can't really can't get it under control, write that person's name down, okay? All right, so the next person I want to invite on the call is a person that I've known for about a year now, maybe a year. But this lady really impressed me because she's an electrical engineer. So when she first heard about the patch, and I'm not going to tell her story, but I am going to say this is why I'm so impressed with her testimony, is because she knew all about phototherapy. I mean, jumped right on in it, but she has an amazing testimony as well as one for her friend. So Miss Kelly Fowler, can you please come on and share your testimony?
Thank you, Berdita. Thank you for having me. I'll say this. It is a miracle. This here patch X39 has changed so many lives. February 22nd, 2023 was my first day of being patched, so I'm close on my anniversary. But let me tell you a little bit about my background. Yes, I'm an electrical engineer. Yes, I've done some phenomenal things. And my friend Harry sent me that link. This is it info, similar to that. It was start X39 then, but it's thisitinfo.com. And I looked at everything and I saw the video of David and I understood what he was doing with the light and the electrons and the hydrogen and DNA. I got so excited. And my friend knew that I had suffered from, I was a breast cancer survivor in 2010. I had breast cancer that had metastasized. And for personal reasons, I opted not to do chemotherapy or radiation. And he knew that, and he knows that I'm real keen on natural things and I do want to stay alive, but I had 3 surgeries and I opted for that. So one of the surgeries put me into menopause. As a result, at 44 and being pushed really quickly into menopause, I had super intense nights, hot flashes, really intense night sweats as well. And it just took my libido away. So for me, I was happy to be alive, but the quality of life had diminished. 2 years ago on Super Bowl night, so just about 2 years ago, I was rushed to the hospital because I had passed out. And when I came to, I was in an ambulance going to the hospital. A kidney stone that wouldn't pass put me in sepsis, and I was about to leave here. Make a long story short, survived all of that. And when he sent me this patch, the very first thing when I put it on, very first thing I felt was like a tingling, numbing sensation in my lower right back, right where that kidney issue was. I had a nephroscopy bag. I had to go under and get the stone blasted. So the doctor told me it was going to be about 2 years. So the only thing I can surmise, and based on me sharing now for almost a year, when people feel that tingling, they feel the reactivation of their stem cells going to work in the area of their concern. And for me, it was my kidney, and that was the most recent thing. So that was the very first thing that was immediate. The other thing that was immediate is that all of a sudden, the color seemed brighter. I can't explain it. It's like I had so much clarity and precision focus, and like my mind was like right balance. I felt the mind balance, the brain balance. I felt that because it was like a light bulb turned on for me. I also felt the energy. I was like, man, I'm super energized. I was sleeping the night before because I stayed up and I was on the road driving in Miami, which is like, I live in Florida, it's a 3.5-hour drive. So I had been yawning, like, right before I put it on. And when I put it on, I was just like ready to go, like I had been energized. And so those are the first things. So I would say I am a one patch wonder because of the tingling. I could feel the healing in my kidney. I had energy and clarity. I was immediate. After 1 hour, I had no more hot flashes. And you have to understand, I was having hot flashes, 2, 3, an hour. Beet red, drippy drip, had to change my clothes because I'm pretty particular and I don't like all that, bacteria smell. So, my quality of life was very much diminished. But as soon as I put this patch on, hot flashes stopped. So that night, my very first night, I was able to sleep. And I hadn't been able to sleep since 2010 because of the night sweats. Covers on and off. Ladies know, waking up, going to pee, gotta come back, and you can't go to sleep. The bed is wet because you done sweated it up. And then you want to get on the other side or put a towel down because you want to go back to sleep. This patch took all that away. In one night, my mind was blown. I'm telling you, I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta tell everybody. And that's what I did. So that was after the first night. I had a really good sound sleep. I woke up refreshed. rejuvenated. I could feel the rejuvenation because I woke up with such clarity and ready to go, when normally I would be dragging and kind of groggy. That's all been gone away since I've been patched. So that was the first night. Now, after 1 week, gotta say this, my libido came back with a vengeance, y'all. To the max. To the point where my husband was running around here calling me Lone Ranger. Might be TMI for some of you, but I think you all need to know, because as I share this patch, men even say, well, you know, Kelly, I know this might be TMI, but I'm like, what's going on down there? My virility, my libido. I'm like, I know what you mean. Happened to me. So, you know, good for you. Everybody needs that. You know, love makes the world go around, right? So that was after about a week. And then, you know, I noticed that I was inspired to live a healthier living life. You know, I was inspired to go work out. I was inspired not to eat the chocolate cake. I was inspired to drink one less drink. You know, I was inspired to live healthier because I was patched up. And then, you know, after about 3 months, I went and had my blood work done. Mind you, I had breast cancer, like I said. So the first 8 years, I've been going to the doctor every 3 months, getting poked and prodded. Because remember, it metastasized, and I didn't do chemo or radiation. And I really think they was just, you know, doing what they do to my insurance, because it was really no need. Moved to Florida, 2018, been going to the doctor every 6 months. I said, hey, doc, can I just come every 6 months? Because, you know, I don't have cancer, but can't you just check my blood every 6 months? He said, sure. Been going to the doctor every 6 months since 2018. I go to the doctor last June. Mind you, only been on the patch since what, February 22nd. He came in, eyes all big as sausage. He's like, oh my goodness, what did you do? What did you do? Your A1C's gone down. I had gestational diabetes, had A1C, pre-diabetic for 23 years. Didn't take medication because I'm a natural person. I tried everything, still didn't bring the A1C. I went from 6.8 to 4.6 and just wearing the patch 3 months. And that probably happened sooner. Last thing I'll say is I shared this patches with friends. You know, I got the diamond pack. I invested because I saw the miracles and just the wonderful technology that this is. I shared it with a friend. Some people are skeptical, you know, some people don't believe light can do all what we're saying it does, but it does. Okay, I'm a living testimony to that. She didn't wear the patches. I said, hey, send me my patches back. She did. She was the first person I patched about a year ago while I was trying to patch. About June, July, she sent me my patches back because, you know, I'm like, they're invaluable to me. And so I didn't just want her just sitting there. You know, she wasn't going to patch her mom or son or anybody. So she sent them back. But she did call me and tell me she was diagnosed with ALS. So I said, please try to patch. You know, stem cells are the future for health and wellness. You know, what do you have to lose at this point, right? And it affected her chewing, swallowing, you know, breathing, lifting her arms. You know, she's just going down. And her first symptoms was about 2+ years ago. So, you know, 2 to 3 years with that condition, and you're not here anymore. So she accepted, and I sent her today. It's 2 weeks. So yeah, 2 weeks tomorrow. Yeah, today, 2 weeks. She's been on the patch within 2 hours. Okay. Before the patch, slurring, because it affected her face, facial onset of ALS. Slurring, couldn't talk. She put the patch on within 2 hours, no more slurring. She doesn't have any more muscle degradation. She has more energy. So we have hope. It's only been 2 weeks, and I told her, baby steps. But I've been sending her all the information, other ALS testimonials with people who've been patched up with this patch. And it's just miraculous. And so I'll be giving you updates, Verdita.
All right, Kelly, that was a tremendous testimony. And, you know, I had another person who kind of volunteered at the last minute, but we're running a little bit late and I don't want to keep you all too long, but we will definitely get that person the next time, because we do have another call coming up in about an hour and a half for you West Coast people. You know, people in California, if you have a chance, you can, you know, we can do the testimony on that call. But right now we're going to focus on the rest of this presentation because we want you to get all the information. So let's keep going. Thank you all so much. I hope you all understood everything you heard. I hope you see why we're so excited. Remember, write those names down, okay? Now, once again, go to thisisinfo.com. This is where you're going to get the case studies, doctor's reviews, just everything you need to know about this patch. Remember, Kelly said that's where she went to get the information, and that's why she was so excited. But now I want to ask you to put your business hat on, because I want you to understand that I told you we want to also inspire you to reach your dreams and goals. In order to do that, we want to let you know that there are some financial benefits to sharing it with people, but also I want you to give you a little bit of information about LifeWave. LifeWave is a 19-year-old company. We will be celebrating our 20th anniversary, 20-year anniversary in October. And the company was doing about 20 million a year as all these physicians were sharing it with their patients. They were selling them to their patients in their office. And so it stayed at about 20 million. And then about 3 years ago, when that X39 came about, all of a sudden there became an explosion. Remember, I told you this is the masterpiece. This patch right here does everything that all those other patches that David Schmidt developed. This one little patch is amazing, you guys. So the company blew up to 320 million in the last 3 years. We ended 2023 with about 420 million. That's how strong the momentum of the company is. So now we're all over the world in over 75 countries, because this is not the average product that you can go to any company and get some weight loss product or some skincare product or some supplement. I mean, nothing wrong with those. We need all of that, but you can get those anywhere, even Whole Foods or Walmart. You can get those but you can't go there and get the X39. Now, what's important to you in your life? And once again, we still got our business hats on. What's important to you in your life? Everything on this screen is important to most of us. And I'm going to tell you, one of the things that really touches me is the part about the family. You know, family is first on our list. You know, you can have all the money in the world and you can travel the world, but if you are not healthy enough to even enjoy and stay around to live and enjoy your family, you don't have everything. And so I mean, you know, but I've had money, I've had good health, I've traveled, but the family is really exciting to me. We have grandchildren, little bitty grandchildren. They're so much fun. But if I live to be 90 years old, I don't want to be in my bed where I can't get up by myself, or I don't want to be walking with a cane or a walker or wheelchair or something like that. Do you know a lot of people that are in those types of age brackets, that's what they're doing. But so quality of life is very important to me. You know, some people it's time freedom. Their job is just, I mean, I know people that literally work all day long. I know this for a fact. And then they still have to work 3 or 4 hours on paper at home. That's not lifestyle, you guys. That's not lifestyle. So think about what's important to you on the screen. And I want you to think about some of those people that you wrote down on your list, because I did encourage you to write those names down and think about what if you introduced this patch to some of them. I want to ask you this question because we got some people on this call. I see someone by the name of Karen. Karen is on this line. Karen, what if you looked at your list and one of them was your brother? You know, he's dealing with high blood pressure. One of them is your uncle. He's dealing with, you know, Parkinson. One of them is your aunt. She's dealing with diabetes. One of them is your pastor. He's dealing with, you know, a heart condition. And you tell them about this patch. You expose this information that we talked about. This is it info. You get them on a call like this and they say, Karen, how can I get some of those patches? And guess what? They decide they want to get some of these patches. I'm going to show you how they can get some in a moment. But right now, we're just going to stick to the names. And let's say those individuals join your team. This is you. And you're building a left team and a right team. And every time somebody wants to buy some of these patches from you, if they get one of our packages, they're going to fall on your left side or your right side. But let's say one of those people's name is Johnny. And Johnny, do you know that every time Karen introduces to somebody else and they fall on her left side, they have to fall under you? And all the people that Karen introduces it to, and all the people that are above Karen, like say if I was right above Kelly and Karen, and I introduced Karen, if I brought a new person in, guess what? They have to fall under you, Johnny. And they have to fall under you, Karen. So in other words, we're building a team. That's why they call it team commission. In other words, every single person, and you will, and people on this call can tell you will start seeing hundreds and thousands of people falling under you. Because why? Because the patch is so, you remember the momentum I talked about? The patch is contagious. Everybody wants it. You can't keep up. People on this call right now are running out of patches because they're giving patches to people and they can't keep their hands on them. That's how fast it moves. So every time someone signs up in this binary, in the binary structure that we're in, they're gonna, if they came under Karen and you so forth, they're gonna fall under you. You're gonna get paid on every single person that you can see, because you're gonna get something called a back office, like an office where you can see the activity. You're gonna get paid on all those people. You can earn up to $25,000 per week in this way of pay alone. We do get paid 4 different ways, but that's one of them, okay? And by the way, every time you introduce someone to this patch, you also get paid immediately for a commission when they purchase that package. Now, here's my favorite part of the compensation plan. It's called the matching bonus. This is unlimited income, you guys. Even though the binary, you get paid to infinity on all the people that fall under you, you also get unlimited matching bonuses. And let me tell you what that means. So let's say I highlighted Karen's name. Karen, remember we talked about Johnny being one of the people you referred this to? What if you had 10 people like Johnny, and Johnny's motivated? He's telling everybody about this patch. He goes out and earns $1,000 this week in the binary. But so do all those other 9 people. You got 10 people that you personally enroll, which means they have signed up on, and they're on part of your first level. And that's 10,000. If each person earned $1,000, that's $10,000 because it's 10 people. You're going to earn 25% of every dime that they make in that binary. That's $250, but it's 10 people. So now you just made $2,500 on just 10 people. You may have told 100 people about this, but now those 10 people, let's say they told 10 people. Now it's 100 people on your second level. If they do 1,000 in the binary, that's 100,000 in volume in the binary, and you're getting 20% of that too. That's $20,000. The company doesn't take it from those individuals. They just give this to you on top of what they're earning. Same thing with the third level, more people there. And you're getting 20% of everybody that the people on your second level refer this to, and it goes on and on. You guys, this is why we're so excited, because we got the steak, we got the sizzle rather, and we got the steak. We got the sizzle in the X39 and this technology, this amazing technology that we have. We got the sizzle in the fact that we're exclusive. We got the exclusive rights to this. And then we got the steak because we have a solid foundation, how solid the company is with its growth, as well as the commissions that they're paying us. Now, I know you're really ready to get started and you want to get started. So somebody can text you this form right here that just shows you the information you're going to need to provide in order to get one of these packages, or they may send you to their website. Either way, but this form, it describes to you what you're needing. So let me tell you how you can get started. You can literally call Karen and say, Karen, how can I get some of those patches? I just want to try a 30-day supply. Where you're more than welcome to purchase, go to Karen's site and purchase some, or Karen may have some extra sleeves herself and pay $150 as a customer. That's what you could do. You can become a customer and pay $150. But what if you were married and you wanted your spouse to have one too, so you bought 2 from Karen? Now you just spent $300. Well, we have a package, which is a silver package, just $300 as well, but you don't get 2 sleeves. So you're going to get this. This is the sleeve, and it goes in this beautiful packaging. Instead of getting 2 of these, you can get 3 for the same amount of money. What sounds better? 2 30-day supplies for $300 or 3 30-day supplies for $300? So it's a better deal to get the silver. But let me tell you why people decide to get the silver. And I want to encourage you to get the silver if you just want to try the product. There's a 30-day money back guarantee. So there's no risk. If you do the silver, not only are you in the binary in case you do decide that you want to earn money and build a team, because people are going to start falling under you. And so when you're ready to go, you already have a head start. That's the reason you may want to do a silver. But if you're motivated already, you know you want to make money, and you know on that list, you got your uncle, you got your aunt, you got people that you want to send 3, 4, 5 patches out to. You want to have them on hand. And if you're going to build a business, you have to have inventory. You can't go to Walmart looking for some laundry detergent and it's an empty shelf. They have to keep supplies, and so do you. So you need to be a business builder, $500, you're going to get 5 sleeves. So you're still paying $100 for every sleeve. But then if you're really serious, like some of us on this call, that you want to get the diamond pack. This is just like Kelly said, she wanted to share with a lot of people. Now you're paying $84 a sleeve because you're paying $1,600 for $1,900 worth of inventory. So not only, that's what my husband and I decided to do. We made a list of 25 couples that we wanted to send 10 patches because we want the wife and the husband to have 5 patches each. Then we made another list of 25 individuals. So when we added that up, it came to 13 and a half sleeves. So guess what? That was enough for us to keep a sleeve for ourselves for 3 months, because when you get the diamond pack, that is going to also give you some other benefits. Not only are you getting the patches for $84 per sleeve, you're also earning $500 every time you share it. Let's say Karen, she did introduce this to Johnny. If Karen is a diamond and Johnny comes in as a diamond, Karen makes $500. If Karen is a gold and she introduces Johnny and he comes as a diamond, Karen only makes $200. The difference of $300 is still paid out. The company doesn't keep the money. They just pass it on to the person above Karen who's a diamond. So do you see the benefit of doing a diamond? Because many diamonds coming into our organization, but everybody doesn't receive the 500 because they're not the diamond, but you can capture that extra money if you're a diamond. But let me tell you another thing that's very important, it's the monthly subscription. Remember what I said about the binary, how every time somebody purchases a new package or order any more of these sleeves every single month, if they stay on an auto ship, volume is generating. And the way we get paid is through the points that are generated by these packages. So if you decided to get a 30-day supply every month, you get a chance to keep your points. Look at the notes here. You get to keep your points. It's going to cost you $99 a sleeve, but it's going to allow you to earn $100 per week. But if you really are motivated to make some serious money, you have no choice than to do 2 sleeves. Why? Because not only do you get to keep your points, but you get to maximize the comp plan. We've had people that had thousands of dollars just sitting. The company doesn't throw the points away. They just only release $100 per week. But these people I've seen people that had like $1,300 sitting there, but they could not release the money because the person did not order a 2-sleeve auto ship. As soon as they did that, that money was released. So we can talk in more details about that once you get started, because we can train you. But with that being the case, just wanted you to know what's the benefits of these packages. So now, you guys, listen, it's time for you to make your move. If you're serious about your dreams, I want you to think about all those people that was on your list. Think about the packages you can get. But this is what I want to do, because I have the pleasure of having another gentleman on the phone on this Zoom. I have a whole lot of respect for this man, because this is probably one of the busiest people I know. But, so many people say, I just don't have time, but he made time. Let me introduce you to someone who is a very successful entrepreneur. He's an architect and a builder, very successful in the Houston area. Mr. Z. Kendrick, could you please, he's what you call a executive director on our team, and he does our trainings every Monday night. So I can go on and on about Z, but Z, please share what you're motivated about to do this business.
Most definitely. Again, thank you very much for allowing me an opportunity to speak. It is certainly my pleasure to be on the Zoom with you. Every time I'm on your Zoom, I'm always taking notes and learning some new ways of presenting my information. So if you're on this Zoom tonight, listen to Vanita Monk do her thing. Folks, you have got to understand how privileged it is for you to be able to hear the message from someone that I have a lot of love and respect for. Well, Vanita, as you mentioned earlier, I am a developer in the Houston market for the last 35 years. I'm very, very busy. But I saw the value when I was first introduced over 14 months ago, largely because I'm closing out my 35-year career. My son's taking over the business. And COVID really got my attention. It taught me that I needed to have some additional income coming in to offset my portfolio. What am I talking about? Well, in my business, when you're either working on a house or building a house, you're making money, but you're not doing those things. In between, that gap gets too far apart. And so I just created the value based on what I saw. I said, you know what, no matter how busy I am, I'm going to leave my house every single morning locked and loaded to do business. So everywhere I'm going, I'm meeting people, I'm talking to people. And I've noticed that when you form a new habit, things begin to fall into play. I do an average of probably 5 to 6 people per day that I talk to on an average day. I'm hosting at least 2 or 3 private Zooms in a given day. I am putting myself in a position to be totally uncomfortable. Why? I can see the prize. LifeWave has allowed us to be in a position to capitalize on this incredible technology. And the way I look at this, we're early in the game, folks. We're really early. If you take 10 people off your cell phone list right now and ask them one question, what do you know about stem cell technology? You may get one person out of those 10 to say they have a comment about the industry. But in 6 months from tonight, those same 10 people that you talk to, 6 out of 10 will have something to say. What am I saying? The word is getting out. The company's exploding. We grew by what, 30% over the last 90 days. We hit close to $500 million last year in revenue. We are on the massive movement. And if you, like I, wanted to finally get this money issue completely out of the way, we finally got the answer. LifeWave is it. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to speak, Vidita. You're doing an incredible job, and I cannot wait to see you guys real soon.
I know, I can't wait to see you as well. And thank you so much for that powerful testimony. I hope you all, caught that. He did not make excuses for what he was doing because he was preparing for his future. And see, that's what I mean about putting your business hat on, and I tell you what, you take time to do what you want to do. You can be as busy as you want, but it's amazing how people find time to do the things they want to do. But sometimes you need to do the things you need to do. You need to get yourself healthy and your family healthy. And we're going to do everything that we can to support you. Let me go back to my screen because I think there's maybe a couple of announcements on here that I need to share with you. I want you to know that we have another call coming up in about an hour. Took a little bit longer tonight, but if you look at this screen here, you'll see that there's another Zoom link here then these are the calls. You don't have to read them right now, but just take a screenshot of it. And these calls are taking place, different times of the week, Monday, Tuesday, different, even in the UK. And so that's another call that you can jump on anytime you want to. But the call that you're on now, this same number is where you're going to go at 10 o'clock. If you want to hear it again, Mr. Reggie Stewart is going to blow us away with the presentation, and he will be presenting to the people on the West Coast. If you know people on the West Coast, get them on. So Tuesday, like the one we're on now at 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock, will be again on Thursday night at 10 o'clock. And then we have Monday night. You just heard from Mr. Z Kendrick. He teaches the brand new reps exactly what to do. So, but with that being the case, you guys, I want to thank you for the time you spent with us this evening. Please get back with the person that invited you to the call. Ask them, how can I get started? And don't wait, because remember, people are falling in that binary fast as you can speak. Thank you so much for your time. Have a good evening.